We cannot be starved of a rigorous curriculum. We always want, no, need more. Junior year, we rolled along. I did well, but I went back to my old days of excluding myself from being a sole particle. Although I was friends with everyone, I never held a strong conversation with many people. Just like space, I had no structure. It was free form. I realized I needed that structure, and the people on my right are that structure. Back to my nap analogy really quickly. I like to compare Blackston to the solar system because although we were all individual stars and all had our own properties, we still sat in the same orbit and orbited around the same sun, that sun being Blackstone. Now at the end of junior year and throughout all of my success that year, it didn't feel right having no one to share with outside of my home. Although I had this victory in my life, victory never felt so empty and so useless to me until then. I had to realize though success was something great. It was nothing without sharing it with people you love. People who aren't just people, but family. Now senior year arrives, and I never knew you could be so close to so many people on so many different levels. Throughout the year, I began to see all these individual particles come together to form our universe. This was so important to me because the distance that I would create between me and people that I love most was disappearing. It only took 4 years. But what is more remarkable is that love in the universe is something that is seen as a feeling, and not really something substantive. But in our Blackstone universe, love has its own mass, and it's more than just a feeling. It has physically manifested its way into our lives. Love in our universe is its own language, only falling second to Spanish. Love is something so potent and so strong that none of us quite understands it. Why, how, or even when we began to love. But we know that we feel it and that it is everywhere in our universe. And as constantly shifting and moving particles, we spread love throughout the whole universe and intertwine it within our lives. Although we are single particles, when we are separated into the universe, we must remember as soul particles, we still have the ability to create an impact. I believe that as a class, each one of us has a desired purpose. Each one of us is a single particle, and we come together to create this universe. So, class of 2015, I ask you to go on in your lives and create more universes. I want you to create these universes filled with other particles and make something more outwards than nothing. I want you all to become part of something greater than you and us, and become someone or something that no one can forget. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. Our staff speaker today has been teaching math at Blackstone Academy for 4 years. He does an amazing job as an advisor and teacher, but one characteristic I admire most about him is the way he asks his students thoughtful and provocative questions. These questions teach Blackstone students how to think and to make them better learners, not only in their school subjects, but in life. Please welcome this year's faculty speaker, Mr. Tony Kula.
I knew that was coming. Let me start by thanking the class of 2015 for voting the faculty speaker at the graduation. I truly consider it an honor, and I was at hand touched when I being chosen. It's not something I ever expected for 2 reasons. One, I teach math, which isn't everyone's favorite subject. Then there's the fact that I don't teach seniors in my classes. It's very rare that I'm a senior. So my contact with you is limited to short conversations in the hall here in the multi. So I am especially grateful. I'll choose today as proof that I had some kind of impact on you in your time here. And as an educator, that's more than I can reasonably hope for. It's ironic I'm giving this speech. Nobody knows this, but I vowed to myself to make fewer speeches this year to my students. You know what I mean? The kind of lectures our parents gave us when we were kids, and we now give to younger people. I don't know how successful I was at stopping myself, to be honest. We just can't help it. On some level, we all know the futility of that kind of lecture. We didn't listen when we were young, but that doesn't stop us now. Now I look over and I see adults who are ready to tackle the world. They're still cute, and some of them still giggle, but they have the tools to be successful in the world, and just as importantly, to make the world a better place. So you might be asking yourselves right now what I'm talking about. What are these tools that we have that make us ready? Before I go into that, let's be clear about one thing. You've earned every one of the tools I'm about to mention. You weren't given them, you earned them. You earned them with hard work and grit. You earned them by making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. You earned them with sweat, you earned them with tears. So here are some of your tools as I see it. You know how to think, and you can think about your thinking. You have open minds and look at both sides of every issue before you take action. And you know we need more of that these days. You know how to dig deep when researching a topic, as you all did for your senior paper. You can express your thoughts both in writing and in front of the crowd, like Chris just did. You can solve problems. Immediately, you'll have some important choices to make. Before you start making them, consider this. The transition from high school to college is a rebirth. You get to be a new you, without the baggage of all the old versions of you that the people in this room know about. You get to make new first impressions, hundreds of them, with all new people that you meet. And you have more control over who you present yourself to be than you've ever had before. So think about it. Knowing who you are, which you do, is the key to knowing who you want to be. So be that person. Once you do that, you need to find your people. This is related to the first point.
Before we award the diplomas, we must honor 3 seniors who have been recognized in the community for their achievements. The state of Rhode Island allows each high school to award 2 prizes annually to the most deserving graduating seniors. The following were chosen by the entire Blckstone staff to receive these awards. The 2015 Lieutenant Governor Leadership Award is given to the graduating senior who has made a positive difference in their school and community. Today, we proudly present this prize to a very accomplished student who has focused her efforts on preserving our environment, Miss Amanda Awas. The 2015 Congressional Leadership Award is presented by Congressman David Cicilline to the senior who has demonstrated leadership and academic excellence with a focus on service to the community. This deserving award winner has left an indelible mark on his school and community. So please help me congratulate Mr. Alberto Flores.
The Bristol County Savings Bank Scholarship is awarded annually to a graduating senior with an excellent academic record and record of community service, and it's someone who also has financial need. Well, many members of this class could meet that criteria. This year's $1,000 scholarship winner is the very deserving Damiana Cavallo. Finally, before we give the diplomas, I want to make mention of the nonprofit study certificates that some of the graduates will receive with them. This year, we are proud to have our second set of graduates earn this certificate in addition to their diploma. We are a school who came out of the nonprofit sector, host faculty and staff with previous careers in the sector, and currently enjoy significant partnerships in this field of work. With the theme of community involvement and improvement, our school aspires to improve the communities around us And we feel that we have a responsibility and an opportunity to guide and bring rigor to the next generation of nonprofit leaders. Some may work in this field in the future, while others may volunteer, sit on a board, or start their own. These students completed a particular group of courses and had applied learning experiences that make them ready for this important and growing field. And now, what you've been waiting for.
Will Marilyn and her advisees please come up?
Good afternoon. Brandon knows more about the Peter Pan Bus Company than anyone in Rhode Island, or perhaps New England. Bus transportation is one of his passions. The other is the first family appreciating the beautiful women in the White House. If you want an honest opinion, go ask Brandon. He tells it like he sees it, and he sees it clearly. No muss, no fuss. He is always on time to advisory because he's a rule follower. This is a rule that is easy for him. More difficult, however, is public speaking. However, because this is a Blackstone requirement, Brandon has gotten out of his comfort zone and has made presentations impressing his judges and, more importantly, himself. Last week, I noticed his transformation from 9th grade. He responded, "Yeah, I used to be a shy little guy." I know Brandon would like to give a shout out to his favorite Blackstone staff, so I'll do it for him. Doc, where are you? And Linda. You are the best. Thanks for everything. Congratulations, Brandon. Amanda's greatest love is the environment. Humans' disregard for our planet is killing her, but she is determined to effect change in her local community and eventually the world. Many seniors grumble about writing a senior paper, but not Amanda. Her research topic engrossed her. She explored ways to minimize the pollution of our oceans. Not surprisingly, Amanda will be studying marine biology at URI. Amanda's concern for the environment extends to her human community. So when she was a sophomore, she possessed these leadership skills and maturity beyond her years. She cares about everyone and intuitively knows when others need a supportive ear, help with homework, or simply some kind words. When the game is on the line, Amanda is always there for her teammates, which is why she was named captain of her basketball team. I will miss watching the games with her mom somewhere, but mostly I will miss Amanda. Congratulations. Here's Carolina Australia. This brave young woman transferred to Blackston this year as a senior. Change is never easy, but Carolina wanted more personal high school experience. Given her easygoing personality, she immediately made friends and enjoys the camaraderie of her peers. Carolina hasn't cut all ties with her previous high school. She was a Poland cheerleader this year. Cheerleading was a transformative event for her. When she was a freshman, she lacked the confidence and questioned whether she was ready for this highly competitive organization. Her self-doubt quickly vanished when she realized she is flexible, and given her small stature, she is a perfect flyer. This self-confidence spilled into other areas of her life. When the work gets difficult, Carolina knows that she just has to get help and work harder. For Carolina, failure is not an option. She will be attending Graduacion College this fall. Congratulations to Carolina. Every morning, Alberto makes sure our advisor signs up for lunch. Maybe he does this to help me out or to ensure that his friends get to eat. This simple act epitomizes Alberto's character, a young man who actively cares about his teachers and classmates. Alberto will always help those in need. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Flores, for instilling the qualities of integrity and upstandardness in Alberto and in all your children. In his junior year, Alberto had an unusually strong academic quarter. He told Kylie that he could or should be the recipient of the Blackstone Scholar Award. What nerve! What confidence! Guess what? The faculty trusted Alberto and gave him the votes. Alberto's fun-loving spirit and quick wit made everyone around him laugh every day. And I am sure that he will continue to lead, volunteer, and play soccer when he attends URI in the fall. Congratulations to Alberto. Alberto Fernandez. I was a bit nervous before Alberto presented his portfolio when he was a sophomore. He is a soft-spoken, thoughtful young man, and I have never seen him present his work. Most members of our advisory were in the audience. Alberto began by introducing himself and shaking hands with each member of the panel. He wowed the crowd. The advisory was stunned. What a great way to begin a presentation. He continued in a poised, confident, and engaging manner. His presentation was spectacular. He set the gold standard for portfolio presentations, and now all my advisees begin their presentations with a handshake. When the advisory gets rowdy, Alberto doesn't. But he is part of the group because he knows how to tell a story and engage the crowd, just as he did during his level 2 portfolio presentation. Alberto will be attending URI in the fall. Congratulations and good luck to Alberto. Suzette Hernandez. Suzette is the comeback kid. She missed 9 weeks of school as a sophomore due to a concussion and suffered its effects for the remainder of high school. But for Suzette, her medical condition was an obstacle, not an excuse. As a student athlete, she moves gracefully from one arena to the other with dedication and hard work. She uses all resources to be successful, including faculty, friends, and her ever-supportive mother. Academically, her reward is her grades. As an athlete, she captained the Central Falls girls varsity soccer team these past 2 years. Suzette can do anything in her life except enter the life of crime. She has so many talents: a shaky leg, a guilty expression, just to name a few. Luckily, with her drive and charisma, she has lots of legitimate career options available to her. Suzette will be attending URI in the fall. Congratulations to Suzette. When Muhammad entered Blackstone as a sophomore, his advisory was already a cohesive group. During those first few weeks of September, he was an outsider, but not for long. He quickly became an integral member of our close-knit advisory. With his outstanding math skills, he became the advisory's unofficial math and physics tutor. One classmate said, "I would not have passed Algebra 2 if not for Muhammad." He loves math and helping others. And he's a genuinely happy person who doesn't sweat the small stuff and is an all-around friendly guy. But for me, Muhammad's greatest public moment here was when he presented his service learning project to the Blackstone community. He educated us all on the turmoil in Syria and then asked us to write letters to Congressman Cicilline asking him to support the Syrian people. Muhammad will be attending URI and studying engineering in the fall. Congratulations to Muhammad. Sam is a math genius. He was so far ahead in math that Blackstone simply ran out of math courses for him. So he took college calculus at Brown University this year. Now, a few underclassmen plan to follow this path, which is now called the SAM plan. When someone is in need of technology help, which happens every day, Sam is the go-to guy. Look at the number of people here today. That's the number of times Sam has saved the day by providing tech support. And he's never condescending. If he's annoyed by everyone's my computer incompetence, he doesn't show it. He just quietly fixes the problem and then takes his seat. Sam prides himself on being logical, which was the focus of his senior paper and project. He showed the benefits of incorporating logic into the classroom using computer games. In the fall, Sam will be studying computer science at Rhode Island College. Congratulations to Sam. Got a great whistle, and I've learned it's a sign of appreciation, so we might hear it as he supports his classmates as they receive their diplomas. Alejandro's whistle is just one way in which he expresses his love of life. Every day he enters advisory with a smile, happy to see everyone, and in a good mood. He sees the best in all of us. His optimism is a gift that will continue to bring happiness to those around him and to himself. Alejandro always wanted to attend a college in Rhode Island because, as he wrote in one of his college reflections, "I want to live close to my mom so I can visit her on weekends." Alejandro is getting his wish, and he will be attending URI in the fall. Congratulations to Alejandro. Josh Lindell. A Renaissance man is someone who performs brilliantly in many fields. Josh is a Renaissance man. He is a musician. He plays guitar and is a songwriter. He is also an athlete. His sports include soccer, running, and boxing, and he's a scholar earning top grades throughout high school. His bright, analytical mind has provided him with self-confidence and a strong voice, making him appear far more mature than his years. However, what sets Josh apart from his classmates is the way he cares about his many friends. He doesn't tell them what they want to hear. Rather, he tells them what they need to hear. I recall him asking a classmate, "You're so smart. Why don't you do your work?" His remark sounded like he was coming from a caring adult, but he was only a sophomore at the time. Josh will be attending URI in the fall, so let's congratulate Josh. Lastly for me, Edward Pursuits. Most teenagers think adults are stupid. Ask any parent, they'll agree. But Edward is different. He asks our advice and then says these magical words. "You're right." He likes to hear very few points, so he polls all his supporters, of which he has many, when he is making important decisions in his life. For example, Edward was thinking of transferring out of Blackston at the beginning of his senior year. Isn't that crazy? But it's been a crazy, difficult year for him. The good news is that he's come through it, and he's standing on the stage today, and he will be attending URI in the fall. Edward has repeatedly asked me, "Who's my favorite?" Of all of us, he says, "Who is your favorite?" He believes it's him. So I always circumvent and avoid answering him. But today, in front of all these people, I'm going to tell you, my favorite advisory is, am I out of time?
All right, Christina's advisory. Oh, that's great work. Nora lives a double life. There is a person that she shows and one that she keeps hidden. We all know that Nora is tough, independent, and brilliant. She has definite opinions and the confidence to speak up for them. She takes charge as though she was born to. It will empower her to do amazing things. Congratulations, Nora. Please remember me when you take over the world. Not the same Tatiana who walked into our advisory 3 years ago. Then she was quiet, unassuming, and unlikely to go against the flow. She rarely spoke up about anything, as if she didn't feel like she was allowed to. She tried her best to stay under the radar. Today, Daliana has a voice. She uses it to advocate for abused animals and to stand up for her friends. She's always willing to try new things, whether it be Korean pop music or the sci-fi club. She is observant, empathetic, sensitive, imaginative, and dependable. She's the kind of girl who would share her last pretzel with you. She's the kind of girl who would share her last anything with you. I have no doubt that she will achieve her goal of making a difference in the world. Congratulations, Daliana. Duarte. beside me for almost 2 years without saying more than 100 words to me. He tried to duck out of every activity we did, and I began to think that it would always be that way. And then the World Cup saved us. We found common ground in collecting players for our sticker books. And after that, it was like a dam bursting open. I discovered that Carlos is fair, practical, dare I say it, enthusiastic. Now I know that he is a hardworking guy who will do anything for his family. He gives reasonable advice and has great ambition to make a good life for himself. I wish him the best of luck in college, but he won't need it. He already has what it takes. Congratulations, Carlos. Janner Mateo Velez. At first, Mateo wasn't too sure about me. There were times when we butted heads over small things, and he sometimes says that I push him. He's right about that. I have asked him to think more deeply, work just a little harder, ask just a little bit more of himself. And he has risen to that challenge. Today, Mateo looks at things from multiple angles. He does the best work he can, and he doesn't give up when it's hard. But he's not all work and no play. Mateo makes us laugh. He has an adventurous spirit, and he loves to try new things. We will always remember fondly the time he did blonde, for example. I, for one, will cherish the memory of the day that we discovered the magic of extra cheese. I will miss sharing pizza with him, but mostly I will miss his spirit. Go share that with the world, Mateo. Congratulations. Kiara Alfred. When I first met Kiara, she didn't know her own power. I mean, this girl was a strong and independent student with a sharp mind. She was thoughtful, mature, and fun to be around. She just didn't have confidence in herself. She even hid when I took pictures because she couldn't see herself as beautiful. Today, Kiara has gone from being a girl who almost whispered her Spanish presentations to becoming a confident public speaker. She writes with authority and speaks up against injustice. Kiara is the best ally that a friend could ask for, and a dedicated daughter and big sister. I've rarely met a person of any age who balances fun and responsibility so well. And these days, when I get out that camera, she smiles and strikes a pose. I know that she will take her new confidence and go conquering college and beyond. Congratulations, Kiara. Julia Salinas. Julia was another quiet one. She sat at the opposite end of the table and only nodded when spoken to. I knew that she worked at her family's restaurant and that she and Doc were BFFs. For a long time, that was all. However, Julia started to open up. Suddenly, she was having fun with us. I will never forget the day that sassy Julia appeared. We began to discuss crucial things like soccer, hairstyles, and Mexican food. And then Julia took it a step further. She started asking me for advice about her plans and talking to me about her problems and her dreams. And I was so proud that she trusted me. Now I know that Julia is caring, independent, and fun. She has big plans, and I'm confident that she has the grit and intelligence to see me through. Go and get the life that you want, Julia. Congratulations. Brenda Anaya. I won't be able to do Brenda justice in this speech. From the beginning, she's been my right hand. She took over our calendar, looked
out for her fellow advisees, and did anything that was needed. When I was still trying to figure out how to be an advisor, she was there to encourage me. When things got tough, she spoke up and opened the dialogue that made things right in our advisory again, even though it was hard for her. Brenda is a top-notch student, a hard worker, and the calm in the eye of the storm. She can always be counted on to be the voice of reason and to lend a sympathetic ear. Brenda leads so quietly and so gently that you might not even notice it. I look forward to seeing how she uses that leadership for good in years to come. Congratulations, Brenda.
Thank you, Christina. Can Gil's Advisory please come up and Liz Schroep?
Brianna has had the rare challenge of having 3 different Blackstone advisors. And while Sarah, Gilbert, and I have collectively shared the joy of this job, Team Brianna probably numbers closer to 8 or 10. But here's the secret, Brianna. While advisory is meant for us to shape you, you have ultimately impacted us and the school community more than you know. You have taught everyone at Blackstone to talk about belonging, self-advocacy, ability, and difference. You bravely shared your own story of difference and created spaces for others to do likewise. You're involved everywhere, leading you to win a Spirit of Blackstone award this year. High school hasn't been uniformly easy for you, but you have met our challenges with fierce determination. Rhode Island College, beware. This girl might only be 4 foot 10 and a half. That half is important. But we send her to you, bursting with love and passion. Congratulations.
Brandon Burdock. Brian was always a unique part of our advisory. Having him share his interesting perspective was always a welcome addition. If you asked Brandon to get something done, he got it done. Brandon's dedication to his education is his strength. He has this matter-of-fact perspective that will leave you stunned. It came across frequently when he would say his most famous comeback. You're right. He would change it sometimes to throw us off. For example, after giving what you said careful consideration, you're right. Brandon was always willing to try something new. And these new adventures often became permanent parts of his life. For example, he joined Born to Run and ran the equivalent of a 5K every week. This is what made Brandon a powerhouse at our school. Brandon will be at Roger Williams University in the fall. Good work, Brandon. Chris Moran. Chris came to us in the 10th grade. He was not happy. He questioned the whole institution of education. He questioned our influence on him. Well, pretty much, he questioned everything. He was questioning and also evaluating. I would never want to be Chris's 10th grade advisor again. It was horrendous. Chris is an intellectual and easily finds his way around the English language. That year, he always ended our discussions with, "See? I told you I was right." Out of college. For now, congratulations on starting your career at URI. Anthony Alvarado. Anthony came to us, observant in the 9th grade. He participated and watched us more, and started to figure us out. Through the early grades, Anthony learned through trial and error, over and over again. He has had his best year ever as a senior, not only socially, not only academically, but even in sports that Anthony played throughout high school. So it's easy to say, I knew a boy who came to Blckstone Academy and was interested in participating in our community in his own unique way. And now I know a man who's on his way to conquer the world with the skills that he needs to become successful. Let's not forget that he received these skills through all the trials and errors. And he went through Let's not forget that he received these skills through all the trials and errors. Julia Menendez. When this 9th grader came to our school, she was always very nice and very quiet. She kept her head down, didn't cause any waves. You could have always count on her to be the sweetest person. As time went on, for a brief period, we saw another side of Julia. And I am glad to say we haven't experienced that side of her ever again. Since then, she has evolved academically, personally, intellectually, financially, emotionally, and even physically, as she became a key player on her girls' soccer team. Look at all your future endeavors.
We always encourage students to take their own unique paths, and Danny epitomizes this important component of our school's mission. He never went through high school exactly how we thought he should. Never. Not once. Unfortunately, sometimes that didn't work out so well for him, but on other occasions, it was simply the best way ever. For his senior project, he pursued his passion for the arts by volunteering in an art classroom at James Junior High. The teacher raved about his participation, his enthusiasm, and his ability to connect with students. Danny greatly exceeded his hour requirement, but when he is passionate about something, the hours just melt away. Danny is equally passionate about helping others because it's important to him that everyone gives support, encouragement, and love. Danny, we are proud of you, and we know your mom would be too. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Stacy's advisory.
We've been together for 4 years, and pretty early on, they named themselves, Ohana. Because Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind. Woo! Valentina. Come on up, Valentina. When I think about freshman Valentina and senior Valentina, I'm amazed and impressed that one person can grow, change, and mature so much in just 4 years. She came to Blckstone a shy, quiet introvert with little confidence in herself, and today she stands in front of you a tall, confident scholar who at times can't stop talking. She has a fantastic, dry, sarcastic sense of humor that has most people laughing and a few trying to figure out the joke. But there's more. She is a gifted and persistent student who constantly makes honor roll, even when life gives her more than her fair share of challenges. But she has never let this stop her or even allow it to be an excuse. She expects and demands the best of herself, and she rarely lets herself down. Brandeis is lucky to have this special talent. Congratulations, Dominique. Jessica Hill. What does it mean to be the most improved senior? Easy answer. Just find yourself and set yourself free. Become a hardworking, motivated student. Organize a fashion show. Design a creative wishing tree for the Hope Street Block Party. Illustrate a published book. Exhibit your work in local galleries. Learn an instrument and write a song at Girls Rock Camp. Stand out in the Olympic League with the Red Cords. Participate in every university offers high schoolers in Rhode Island. Win the ELA and Art Awards. Easy, right? Smart, driven, intelligent, caring, family-oriented, computer whiz. These are the words that quickly come to mind when I think of Jose. A true representation of what these gold words stand for: excellence of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. In his quiet, resourceful way, Jose makes his impact. He is a leader by example, not force. He has quietly directed and edited the Blackston Morning News, created an addictive phone game, run a video game club, and designed a website full of game reviews. But you probably didn't know any of that, because he won't tell you. He may be quiet, but don't let that fool you. He is powerful. About a month into the year, and in some ways it seems as though he's always been here with us. What was it like before we were sitting around the circle, taking attendance, and hearing someone say, "Where's Chito?" I have no idea where he goes, but he's late almost every day. And the advisory's in the middle of the day, so he's been at school. But I feel lucky to have been given the opportunity to get to know this guy. Michael Perez. When I think of Michael, I think of two things. First, that smile. That genuine smile. His smile and laugh are contagious. Just look at it. You can't not smile looking at him. Skill, and one that will take you wherever you want to go. Keep on smiling and persevering, and the world is yours. Watch out, Rick. Here comes Michael Perez. Marquise Holman. Marquise exemplifies our school's values. Service, leadership, and spirit is a true testament to who Marquise is, what he cares about, and who he hopes to become. Marquise was 100% deserving of this award. He lives his life with compassion and humor, giving and caring for others, and pushing himself to strive for excellence in all that he does. Sergio Rivera. While he's still not a talker by any means, he has found his voice, and a powerful one at that. And when he speaks up, people listen. He's like a sunken treasure chest. He's hard to find and hard to open, but once you do, there's something special inside. A strong and compassionate young man who cares deeply for those around him. I feel lucky that he opened up and allowed me in. He's mature and understanding. He always looks at every angle before deciding. He's also, how do I say it nicely, strong-willed, broadcasting. But seriously, he is honest and sensitive, and he cares deeply for his family, especially his sisters. Lewis, you have so much to offer. Stay you and make a difference to URI. There aren't enough words to describe her, but I'll try. Transformed. She didn't start out this poised, mature, she did not start out the poised, mature young woman before you now, but rather an angry, quick-tempered girl. Compassionate. She cares so much for the people around her. Her family and friends are lucky to have her in their lives, but especially her nieces and nephews. At least once a week she goes up, she has a long check-in about one of them and something special they did together. Courageous. Rarely have I worked with a young person with her level of bravery. She attacks all that life has given her head-on and with a smile, despite serious obstacles. There are so many more, but I've run out of time. So finally, she is spunky, determined, Gianni Boulder. I don't even know where to start with Gianni. There's so many sides to her. The athlete, the environmentalist, the leader, the friend, the talker, the intellect, and the funds. Who knew that someone who could lead her soccer team from the backfield could be such a buzz? She's also a leader and a thinker. She's strong-willed and quirky. Even when you think you have her figured out, there's always another layer, another level to her thinking, another part of her personality that I never knew was there. And she's always witty with a smart remark or a new way to solve a problem. Gianni, Believe in yourself. You're talented, especially young women. And the world has no clue what you have to offer. Take chances, explore, and change the world. I know you can do it. Laura is lucky to have you. Congratulations. A year-long fight who was going to go last. So, for the final graduate of the class of 2012, Queen Jessica Mendez. Alright, I need to start with her walk. Long before you can see her or hear her voice, you can hear her walk. A booming stomp, but that just represents her power. When thinking of a word to describe her, the advisor said mom. The matriarch of the group, giving praise when that's what's needed or a quick reprimand. She's there to support anyone with a listening ear or a shoulder to cry on. She's strong like her mom, solid, passionate. God, I almost made it. And determined. Jessica, you are such an amazing young woman. You're talented and caring. Know that I believe in you, know that I'm in your corner, and I'm proud of the person you are becoming. I'm sad to see you go, but happy for you. The lucky you are.
So before we conclude the ceremony, I have two things to say. First, if the audience members could fold and stack your chairs, it makes it easier to move about. Second, there are refreshments in the back of the room for all the guests.